The London Underground's Bakerloo Line is notable for many things, too many to list off in full for this video. In any case, it currently runs for 23.2 kilometres from Elephant and Castle to Harrow Wealdstone, initially running underground for the first 15 stations, then surfacing just before Queen's Park. All services on this line are run by the oldest trains still in regular passenger service anywhere in the UK, namely the 1972 stock, and it's also the only tube line that's ever appeared in Train Sim World. The add-on was first released in August 2020 as part of the Train Sim World 2 package. We're now on TSW 6, so make of that what you will. For various reasons, the 1972 stock is one of my favourite types of tube train, on par with the 1996 stock on the Jubilee line and the 2009 stock on the Victoria line. However, I was absolutely shocked by the state of the 1972 stock in real life, with their coach interiors covered in graffiti. Even the 1992 stock on the Central line has suffered from the same sort of vandalism. What the hell's going on? My disgust at the state of the Central and Bakerloo line trains, and TfL seemingly not doing anything about it, aside, the Bakerloo line is one of only 2 tube lines that I managed to ride in full when I was in London. The other one was the Waterloo and City line. Most of the footage I recorded on the Bakerloo was during the first few days in London, and it wasn't until the very last day of my trip when I was able to ride the entire line in one shot. A few weeks later, on the 7th of May, which happens to be Michael Rosen's birthday, I was on my way back from train spotting at Cheddington and Apsley on the West Coast Main Line. The original plan was to stay on the Class 350 all the way back to London Euston, but I realised that I had the opportunity to get off at Harrow and Wealdstone and go for another ride on the Bakerloo line. here's the view out the window from Wembley Central to Stonebridge Park. As we go along, look out for the Class 321 EMU and Class 08 diesel shunter in the adjacent sidings.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
As I was expecting, more and more people got on the train as we got closer to central London. But surprisingly, I ended up getting the whole coach to myself from Lambeth North to Elephant and Castle. When the line first opened in March 1906, Lambeth North was the temporary southern terminus, as Elephant and Castle wasn't ready for opening until August 1906.
single cable lock smartphone to touch in and out to get the best value fare for your travel.
Over the years, there have been various proposals to extend the Bakerloo Line beyond Elephant and Castle, but none of them have come to fruition yet. Regardless, it was interesting to observe the activity at a terminus station on the London Underground, with the trains taking whichever of the two platforms is available and sitting there for around 6 minutes before heading back up the line. In closing, and despite the 1972 stock being in an appalling state, I enjoyed riding on the Bakerloo Line in real life. It's just so surreal to have seen this all in person after 5 years of seeing it in Train Sim World. To be honest, I can't really think of anything else to say at this point, so for now, I'll leave you with the rest of the footage that I recorded at Elephant and Castle.